How's it going, Kabroda crew? Welcome back to the live stream. Hope y'all are doing well. Looks like we're basically back to where we were at yesterday. Heading on. See if we can get our trade view up here. Maybe. Getting an echo in the live. How's that? Is there still an echo now? Spirit Maker's the echo gone now? Is the echo gone now though? Or is it still there? It's still there? Oh, it's gone. Okay. Alright. I'm trying to get trade view up. The streaming software we're using is not wanting to put trade view on the screen for some reason. I'm gonna throw I'm gonna put just a regular screen capture on. That way you guys can see what's going on. Alright, there we go. Now you guys can at least see what's happening on my screen. For some reason, the way I normally do it, the stream wasn't picking it up, so we're gonna have to do it this way. But you guys should be able to see it just fine, so this will work. As you can see yesterday, after the day yesterday, we kind of had a crazy little breakdown here. Breakdown here, broke through all the way down past our volume area low, all the way down to about 121, and then now we're kind of breaking up past 123, 426. Basically back to where we were yesterday, especially after that little breakup we had yesterday. So back around to the same area, kind of just sitting there. We're going to break down the levels, get the battle box set up, kind of see where we're at. If you guys probably already seen it, but I already got our news events in here for today. So for today we got Powell speaking, and then we got Bullock speaking at 5, but that's a pretty low impact speak. So really Powell this morning, which could have been why we had some crazy breakup here. But I don't know, could just be that we had a breakup, who knows. He spoke at 7:30, so really that could have just been the end here, more or less. Before the news we were kind of just right here at this volume area high. So we'll kind of see, break it down a little bit more, get some of those levels set up, and kind of see where we're at. Interesting though. So yeah, the PAL speech, PAL talking should already be done now that it's 8 o'clock. We should give about 30 minutes for news, and that's about done. So we'll see if that's all we really have. All we really have coming from the news. It kind of depends on what PAL is saying, what's happening, but we shouldn't have to worry too much about the news anymore. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. We'll get our 4 different screenshots. Just the normal 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 and 5 minute. Starting with the 4 and working our way down. I'm gonna take these different levels off, just like that. And then we're gonna go through and get some screenshots of all of the different levels. Whenever you're doing this, make sure you auto this chart just to make sure that we got a nice looking chart for ChatGPT to read as we throw it into our GPT. Looks like we're sitting on the 1 hour 200 almost. Interesting. Still above it, or above it again, I guess. I think we were above it all last night though as well, so. Alright, 2 more screenshots and then this part will be done. We'll head on to those FRVP levels. Alright, there we go. Get all of our screenshots in here. Now we'll get the FRVP levels. So if you guys don't know how to do this, just easiest way is type FRVP levels. And then we're going to type 24 hour volume area high, VOC, and volume area low. And I'll do the same thing for morning. And you can I'm just going to copy and paste them to make it easy on myself. And then the last thing we'll do is a 30-minute candle. High and low. So that'll give us a place to put all the different levels that we're going to go and grab from our charts. And just make it nice and easy for us. If you can't remember all of them, they're right here. FRVP levels, 3-minute range. So if you just tell the battle box to generate a daily market recap for today, they'll populate right here just like this. So yeah, let's jump on over back into trade view. We'll kind of go through and get these levels set up. So I'm going to go to the 1 hour. It's the easiest one to do it on. You're going to go from the crosshair down 4 and then go to fixed range volume profile. And this is the tool that we're going to use. It'll basically do some math and get us some levels based off the math and volume and such. So we're just going to grab those. These are going to be I'm going to go from 7 to 7, and that'll be your 24-hour levels. So the first set of levels that we put on our GPT typed in will be these ones. And the best thing you can do is just line them up just like this. And that will be basically our ranges for today. So we've been on here, I say it all the time, but basically all support and resistance are all zones. So we don't have to worry too much about getting these like exact on. It's basically just kind of eyeball it. If you can't really see the red line or the yellow line or blue line or whatever under your other line, then you've probably gotten close enough. Because even if you're a smidge off, it's still going to be close enough that the range will still count. So the best, after you get that, volume area low, or we'll click on the volume area high, and we'll go to settings, go to coordinates, and we're just going to grab it. Grab the coordinates right out of there, and we'll head back to our GPT and just start pasting them in. And we'll do that for all 3 lines. Spirit Maker said 1, 2, 3, 400 is the strong resistance for today. Need to break it to be bullish. We almost just broke that, I think, a second ago. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 400. Yeah, we were. I guess we broke it, but we didn't really hold it, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the level. So we'll go from the 7 o'clock that we were at. Now we're gonna go to 3 o'clock this morning, and these will be our morning levels. So you can turn those back on. Turn off my 24-hour ones so they don't get confused. We'll just throw these up here, cover up your lines again. Make sure they're nice and tight. They don't have to be exact. There we go. And then we'll just grab the settings, and your coordinates should already be up. So all you have to do is just copy it right out of here once it pops up. And then we'll just keep heading. We'll head back to our GPT. Keep pasting them in there. Do all 3. And that volume area high is actually pretty close to that 123 400 level that Spiritmaker was talking about. So it looks like that is going to be some pretty good resistance for today. And obviously, yeah, we probably do need to break that. Oh, dang it. I just copied all that. There we go. Alright, so next we're heading for that 30-minute candle, high and low. This is a lot easier to get. Oh, 124,000. Yeah, that's a little bit higher than what the 123.4. 123,700 is about where the volume rate high is. 124 is basically where we stopped on these 2 candles right here. Came up, hit that 124 big fat round number, and then broke down. So that is probably the zone to beat. That's probably a good target if we were looking on taking. Well, I guess really that's kind of what we want to break before we take an up trade, but. There we go. Alright, we're going to get that 30-minute high and low now. So I'm going to go ahead and delete my FRBP level finder thing. And then I'm going to close out my lines over here on my object tree. If you don't know how to use the object tree, we do have a video covering the whole object tree and how to use it, how to organize it, that kind of stuff. So check that out. It's in our Traders Toolkit playlist. But got those turned off. Now we're heading to that 30-minute chart. On the 30-minute chart, we're looking for that 730 candle, and then we're going to find the high and the low of that. The best way to do that is right under where my screen it says Kabroda, right on top of it, but there's an H and an L at the top of your screen, and you'll just get the numbers next to those. So 123,706 is going to be our first level, so our high. 123,706. Yep. Oh, not 796, 706. There we go. And then we're going to go back, check our low is 122,885. So 122,8. Yeah, it was 885, not 55. Alright, so you got our different levels on there. Terry was getting ready to sell all of his BTC profits. Alright, so we got our different levels on there. And that's all we really need for the battle box setup. We got our news, our 4 different screenshots, FRVP levels are in here, and now the 30-minute candles in here. The last thing you could throw in there is the weekly FRVP levels, but if you want to go ahead and ask the ChatGPT how to do that, you're welcome to, or ask the battle box how to do that, you're welcome to. There's a link in the description if you don't already have the battle box on your GPTs. But essentially you could take that and ask it how to actually use the weekly zones, and it will let you know. But for the sake of the live, we're just going to go ahead and send it in just like this, and we'll see what our daily market recap is looking like today. We'll probably start off with some of the anchor talking to Terry, it looks like. Alright, so I got our 4 different levels here. 4 different time frames here. So 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 and 5, all different TAs on here, as you can see. Below that, we got our different risk support levels. Some trade strategies that you could use. Any news is going to be populated in this zone on number 4, and then you got execution considerations, weekly zones. So if you did put some of that weekly levels in here, those will be on there. And then below that, we got our YAML levels. So if you need to, or if you want to add some of the other levels to your chart, you can go ahead and just copy them right out of this block and put them into your chart. But we're just going to start off with that TA from the 4 hour down to the 15 minute, and we'll just kind of read what the GPT has to say and then go through it a little bit ourselves. So I'm going to head back to a trade view, and we'll start off with this 4 hour, and I'm going to throw on these lines real fast just so you know if it does end up talking about the different lines we got on here, and we can easily see them. Alright, so on the 4 hour, the GPT says price is holding above 122.5K. So 122.5 is about the 24-hour POC. Support shelf EMAs, fan bullish with the 50 EMA and 200 EMA. So got the 50 here, 21's there. And I guess all of them are kind of fans in a nice... they're really stacked, actually, so I guess maybe that's what it means by fanned. Stacked just means that they're all in order, so like you can either have them stacked bullishly or stacked bearishly. When they're stacked bullishly, it's smallest to biggest, like smallest on the top, biggest on the bottom. And then if they're stacked bearishly, it'll be the biggest one on the top and smallest one on the bottom. So you got the 21, that's the 50, yeah, 21, 50, 80, 100, and 200. Yeah, that's what we got rocking on our charts. Typically, we just use the 21 and the 200. Honestly, if you didn't want to have extra moving averages, you wouldn't really have to, but sometimes they are pretty nice, especially for reading stuff like that, like seeing how fanned out they are, because whenever moving averages start to compress like that, we get some volatility, really either way, up or down. Right now we're fan bullishly, so you got the 200 on the bottom, 21 on the top, and all the middles are kind of stacked in the way they should be, smallest to largest, top to bottom. So that is looking good. MACD is turning up, and RSI is moderately bullish bias. So just off of TA, zooming out a little bit, we kind of had this rise up, higher highs, and then we broke down off of that, and now we're kind of flagging sideways, really. Something like this. You could almost even say we're doing something like this. So typically this is a bullish pattern, except for the fact that we came down into it. So technically we should break down out of that. It's not really a super nice pattern. I don't know. Pattern. It's a pattern. Not too worried. Not too excited about that one. Either way, we are above the 21 or above the 200. We did break that 21 here though. And typically whenever you break the 21, you come down to that 200. Question is, are we going to be able to hold this 21? And then we have possibility of continuing up even farther. So right now, we kind of came up and tried to hold it yesterday, actually, and then we broke down, and now we're kind of trying again. So are we going to be able to hold it? I don't know. We'll see. MACD, you got that bearish momentum formed as we kind of broke down here. Now that we're kind of sideways, we kind of lost some of that momentum. Gained it back a little bit, but mostly we're just kind of losing that momentum, looking like we possibly will flip to the bullish side. As for the RSI, we had some pretty good bearish div up here as we were climbing, and then we broke down. Now we're about to that 50 line. Really don't have any kind of div or anything right now. Nothing to be excited about, I guess. So we are flipping, and you can see that slower moving average is turning at 50. So possible up move here for the RSI as well. Stoch is just more or less in the same boat, but as we know from previous lives, Stoches don't really matter for the longer time frames like this. Moving on to the 1 hour. So for the 1 hour, our battle box says that we have a clear reclaim of the 200 EMA. Yep, right here. So we broke down, came back up, claimed it again, and continued upwards. Didn't really break it like hard. We just more or less tested it. Volume structure shows higher low continuation towards prior high, 123.7K. Momentum and MACD is rising. So you can see we had that nice little run heading for that volume area high breakout. We kind of wicked up, hit it, rejected, and now we're kind of sitting in between that and the volume area high for the 24 hour. Below that, we got the MACD is turned bullish, so we were bearish as we came down from that 124 levels Spirit Maker's talking about down. Tried to break through the 200, actually ended up holding it as support, breaking back up, and now you can see that MACD has flipped back to bullish again. RSI is kind of the same as the other one. No real divergence here on either side, either bullish or bearish, so nothing of that sort. And then you can see that the RSI is flipping, so you got the slower moving average kind of curling upwards, which is a good sign for more bullish action as well. The Stoches are topped out, but that's again not a huge deal because it's the longer time frames. So Spirit Maker said we need to watch the 21-200 on the 5 minute, 15 and an hour. Excuse me. 4 hours still has 2 hours, 30 minutes left until close. It needs to close above that 21 EMA. Yeah. 4 hour close above 21. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See what you're saying. So we need to close above. Really, our POC line, I guess, is a good judge. A little bit above it, but and then 1 hour, obviously, we want to stay above the different levels as well. All right, we'll go back to our TA on the 15th. So breakout through the stacked EMAs, 122 3K to 122 9K. Price compression is easing and volume expansion is visible. Short-term momentum is extended and a possible brief pullback before continuation. All right, so you can see we came up here, right? And now we kind of hit this volume high and then broke back off of it, and now we're kind of taking a break, forming a little bit of a flag here. As we continue to kind of like bounce between the levels, possible breakout here. We could end up making something more like this kind of flag. We'll see as we go. That flag pull, pretty long pull. It'll take us about 125.6. Guess we'll mark that. But overall, we're just gonna have to wait and see kind of how this one plays out. It really could be forming any kind of pattern right now still. There's not enough data to really kind of figure it out. But it does look like we're gonna kind of get at least some kind of consolidation or breakdown before we continue on up, if it does hold true to that continuation that it's kind of building out. You can see on MACD, we were bullish as we kind of broke up from where that 200 is on the 1 hour. Then once we hit that volume area high, we kind of started to fall off that a little bit. So if we do get to a continuation, more than likely you'll kind of see the MACD histogram kind of break down here and then slowly start to curl, and before we flip to the bearish side, we'll kind of curl and go back to being bullish again. You can see RSI is almost to overbought, the overbought zone up here. We are over 50 on the like kind of middle ground, I guess, of the RSI. We're over 50, so we are in that more overbought zone. Not quite in like super overbought zone, but we are in the more overbought, so we are more bearish than bullish, I guess, if we're going to start kind of flipping over here. But that could also just be the pullback here as we flip over, kind of come down and then return back up after we get the pullback and fire out of the flag. Heading to the 5 minute, we got a micro flag forming under 123K. Resistance. So micro flag forming under 123K. That's kind of a weird spot to put that at because it's right here. I would say micro flag forming is really like something like this. Maybe even like a flat flag. Possible uptrend type thing here, like this. Maybe kind of fall in the 21 more. I don't know. But there is a flag forming here. Should be the same target more or less of what we had. You could say we got a smaller target here on this one. So that will take us up to 124 300-ish area, which will break that 124 area ceramic I was talking about. Can give us the possibility of an uptrend here. The other thing that the GPT says is that RSI is cooling, stochastics are reset near mid-band. Momentum remains constructive unless 122.9 fails. 22.9. So 122.9 is right around that point of control there. We are getting some bearish, well, I wouldn't say bearish div, but we're getting some bearish movement on the RSI here. We are in that overbought zone, and now we're kind of breaking down from there. How far will we go? We'll see. MACD is also breaking down. You can see the histogram flipped red about 8 o'clock, and we're continuing that pattern. Started to get some kind of trend flip here at 8:20, but now we're continuing it downwards. And the RSI is kind of showing that there's not a lot of support here. It looks like we'll at least continue sideways, get this RSI back down a little bit, and where we can flip back up if that's what we are going to do. Stoches are at the bottom, so we could see an up run here from that, or we can continue sideways and kind of sideways down on the chart. So that's really the TA for today. Kind of really almost a 50-50 pattern again. It still is looking, well, that was cool. I didn't know you could do that. You hold the mouse button down, I guess it gives you the high and the low. So if you need an easier way to get the high and the low for candles, we might have to start using that. You just hold it down and look at the high and the low. Yeah, I guess we'll go and make that battle plan, but it is kind of looking either way. Bullish target is around 1255. Is what Streamaker just said. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that was looking actually pretty close to our target here at 125.5. Well, ours is more like 122.6, 125, 7,000, 700. But that's pretty close. I mean, we drew it. That was based off of our flag, so I guess there might be something else you could base it off of. I mean, this also could be resistance right here at the top here. So it's probably our zone, I guess. That's weird. I don't know why it does that. I don't think mine's ever. Oh, now mine's not doing it. Oh, there we go. I got it to work here. What's weird is like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know why mine does that. I don't think that's. Maybe I turned on a setting by accident or something. I don't know. That's weird. Because I've never seen that before. You have to like hold it still, I think, to get it to pop up like that. If you move it, it just ends up moving the chart and then it never pops up. Yeah, it pops up every time you just hold it still and click on it. It's click and hold until it pops up. But I don't know. That maybe that's something I accidentally turned on. Yeah, it's cool. I just maybe I'll have to mess with it, see if it's a setting or something. Because it would be kind of nice to use them live, honestly, rather than like looking up at the top. But yeah, I guess we'll build our battle box or our battle plan. So let's build. You have to let me know if you get it working on yours, Spirit Maker. All right, getting that battle plan started. Yeah, I wonder if it is something I accidentally turned on. How you turn on? Because that would be kind of nice. Maybe I'll use AI to figure it out later. Take a little screenshot of it or something and say, hey, how do I get this? All right, so we got our different things. Oh, there you go. You can ask GPT. Just get a little screenshot here. I'll hold it on there so you can get a screenshot. It's kind of not that easy to do though, honestly. Oh, for a second I thought it wasn't changing, but it does change based off what candle you're hovering over. All right, there you can get that screenshot. Just go back if you need to get it. All right, so we got our breakout. Just typical. We're looking for that 123,720 level. So really, we know we also kind of want to break that 120,400 level. If we get that break, that's where we're going to look for the 15-minute close, 5-minute entry on the retest. And then we're going to be targeting 124 to 124.5 is what it says. So, and then we know also that at 125.5 is also that next level above that. If we do get to close below the POC, then it's just time to take it off. You can also get on. Let's see, what's the difference between the rejection short and the breakdown short? Well, I guess we'll just stick with the breakdown short is what we normally do. So, if you get to 121.5, so we'll go back to trade view, check it out. 121.5 is about that 24-hour volume area low, or just the regular volume area low is kind of that zone there. We get that breakdown below that retest on the 5-minute, then we'll jump in, and then we're looking for a target of 121 to 120,700. So 121 to about. They've been really small targets today. And 120,700. Yeah, like really small targets. I mean, like, I guess, like, at least the battle box has very small targets today. Yeah, because, like, if you took this trade here and say you run our normal, like, throw it above the breakout here, you're really only getting, like, a 14 to 1, 0.25 to 1. That's really, like, nothing. And it's same on the upside, really, too. I mean, if we pull to our targets, they're a little bit longer. Like we said, we break out here to our stop. I guess you probably wouldn't have to go like way out here. Like you can go maybe under the 24-hour POC, but still, like you're only making I guess that one's not bad, 1-to-1 or so. Depending on how high you can take it off there. So not terrible there. Upside's definitely looking better than downside. There could be some other targets for the downside as well. Like maybe this here. 119,600 essentially. Could be the third target there. But it is, I don't know, still not great. Yeah. No more news events today though, so we're just kind of rocking it, waiting for our trade to kind of set up either way. We're watching that 4-hour 200 or 21, sorry, right here. Next 2 hours, if we don't get that close above here, that's pretty bearish. Because like I said, once you break that 21, typically you come down to the 200, and our 4-hour 200 is sitting about 115 right now. So it's not absolute, but obviously, but if we do get that break of the 21, or if we don't get the break and close above the 21 here, we could see possible rejection, breakdown. Maybe not full breakdown today, but soon we could see that breakdown come down to that 200 and reset a little bit. And get ready for the next actual like longer leg up. So that's kind of what we're looking at today. Not a whole lot happening today. I guess we found something cool in the stream. This thing, kind of cool. I really would like to know what I turned on, but maybe we'll let y'all know next tomorrow how to do this, or not tomorrow. Sorry, next Tuesday how to do this, because that is a cool little feature. Yeah. Other than that, that's really the end of the stream today. So hopefully y'all had a good day yesterday, and then hopefully you have a good day today trading. No news really, so happy trading to y'all, and stay safe. And the levels from today's stream will be coming out on X here in a couple minutes, so make sure you check that out if you're interested in getting those, and follow our X account to see those. We should have those about almost every day coming out, as well as links to our videos that are coming out. If you don't already subscribed here and don't have the bell engaged, you'll get the notification there. So yeah, give us a thumbs up so we can get our channel out to more people. Other than that, we will catch y'all on Tuesday next week. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.